So BYU basketball, well, the rest of us, yes. But the shocking one here, BYU basketball. This conference just proved, I mean, I've got the stuff to back it up. This conference just proved it is not just the best conference in college basketball. It is king, and it's not close. This Big 12 basketball net ranking that came out is absurd. BYU being one of the best teams in the country is absurd. And right now, when you think it's going to be Kansas, maybe Baylor, they've been pretty good, Texas possibly, and then Houston comes out as the number 1 team in the country, and BYU comes out as the number 2 team in the country in net. That's when you know this is not good for everybody else. If you want to grow a program and stay competitive in the Big 12, you're probably not going to get that, buddy. Get ready to learn something else. I am floored seeing that now Houston is a quad 1 game. BYU is a quad 1 game. Arizona quad 1. Baylor quad 1. Iowa State quad 1. Cincinnati 14th in net quad 1. Those teams that I just listed off, Houston, BYU, Arizona, Baylor, Iowa State, Cincinnati, are all ranked higher than Kansas. Kansas is at 16. We are at 16. That is 7 teams in the top 16. What? Utah is out there as well. The team that's coming next, they're good at basketball now. TCU is a quad 1 game. Colorado's good at basketball when they come in. Texas Tech hasn't hit its peak yet. Kansas State has got a lot of stuff to figure out. UCF, honestly, better than I thought they'd be. Net 112, not great, but it's still dramatically better than Oklahoma State, who is a net ranking of 196, and West Virginia, whose net ranking is 209. Those have plenty of room to go up, but still, as a road game, there are no quad 4 teams in the Big 12 right now. That is stupid. That is so stupid. This league is that good at hoops. And the big surprise here is BYU. What are you doing? You weren't supposed to be good. You were in my bottom 3 or 4 preseason just because my hope was we need one team. We need one team that everybody else can beat up on. It doesn't have to be BYU. It can be Cincinnati. It can be UCF. But that was the one I circled as, hey, BYU hasn't been spectacular in basketball. They've struggled the last couple of years. But then you bring everybody back, a bunch of old guys hooping. You beat San Diego State by 9. You mowed through every team that's in front of you, even the bad ones. Then 77-49 against Arizona State. 95 points against NC State. And then some people scoff, like, oh, it wasn't a very good defensive performance. Pfft, eat my shorts. Fresno State 85-56. That's not a basketball team to balk at. BYU is good. And I think Jackson Robinson and company, Noah Waterman and company, Spencer Johnson, they're going to compete in the Big 12. They have 5 guys, averaging effectively 6 guys, averaging double digits this year. What? Why? Why do we have to deal with this many good teams? And Oklahoma's good. And Texas is still Texas. They're still fine. But these net rankings coming out blew my absolute mind. Texas is 59th. And they're still going to be good. Oklahoma is 12th at 7-0 right now. It is. I know. I shouldn't be shocked, right? The Big 12's always been good at basketball. The big thing here. Houston, did I expect them to be number 1 in the country? No. They're better than I thought they'd be. BYU, did I think they'd be number 2 in the country? I didn't know if they'd be top 200. They're better than I thought they'd be. Arizona's at 3. That's nuts. Baylor at 6. I thought they'd be good. I had them 4th or 5th in the Big 12. That's better than I thought they would be. These are Big 12 teams. Oklahoma, better than I thought they'd be. Kansas is the only one at 16. I'm like, oh, yeah, expect a little bit more from you. Houston, BYU, Baylor, Iowa State, Cincinnati, Oklahoma have outperformed expectations. TCU at 41 sitting right around it for me. They've outperformed expectations. This conference that was already supposed to be elite, that was already elite on paper, is now even more elite because the teams that were not supposed to be at the top of the league, or the teams that were not supposed to be number 1, are right there. Houston wasn't supposed to be number 1, and it's number 1. 15 spots ahead of Kansas. Not just number 1 in the Big 12, number 1 in the country. That's nuts. Now I'm just ready for Big 12 play to start. How's this going to work? The team with 7 losses wins the league. How does this work? Tonight, there are some big games, too. We have this whole Big East thing going down. Villanova, Kansas State. Kansas State better do something quick. You saw the whole thing about Jerome Tang complaining about the student section. They need to win. Providence and Oklahoma. Can Oklahoma prove it's not fool's gold? Providence is pretty good. Seton Hall and Baylor. Baylor 11.5-point favorites. Can you continue your dominance? I know BYU and Evansville shouldn't be much of a game, but can they just keep on winning? And by God, Oklahoma State going to Carbondale to play Southern Illinois as underdogs. Don't embarrass the league, please. This is good. And again, I think a team that loses 5 games could win the Big 12 championship. A team that loses 7 games is certainly in the NCAA tournament. With BYU's resurgence, this could very well be a 9-bid league. This could be a 10-bid league if you play your cards right. But that's about playing your cards right. We'll see if they do that. So there you go. Expansion Jazz is nuts. The transfer portal's open. We're going to talk about that all week. We got to do our end-of-season Big 12 power rankings as well. This has been and always will be. Thanks for making it your first listen every single day. Locked on Dose Grande.